Hey everybody, have you heard about the Drunken Peasants Patreon? It helps support the show while getting you some cool perks. Check it out! For $1 per month, you get to use our exclusive fan chat that appears at the bottom of the screen on every episode. For $5 per month, you get 2 new private shows, including Actual Mania, as well as our back catalog of private shows, plus all lower tier perks. For $10 per month, you get all of our monthly video content. This includes multiple post shows, our monthly reviews, our back catalog of all that content, plus all lower tier perks. For $15 per month, your name will appear in the ending credits of each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $25 per month, you get to take part in our monthly booking committee hangout to help us book our Patreon content for that month, plus all lower tier perks. For $33 per month, you get an exclusive piece of DP merch each month, plus all lower tier perks. For $50 per month, you appear in the opening credits for each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $100 per month, you get to join us as a guest on an episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast. Plus, you guessed it, all lower tier perks. Visit patreon.com/DP now to become a patron of the Drunken Peasants podcast.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken.
Oh no! Oh no! I don't even have any news. Well,
you better well learn to love it.
I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. So, yeah, here we are, everybody. We're here. Actually, there is some action news to talk about because, you know, we're going to do a quick show for everybody here. And then after that, we're going to go do our first Patreon private show of the month for $5. You get to watch us rank the top 10 DP antagonists of all time. And speaking of which, I have T-Bob being like, hey, do you still want me on? So should we have T-Bob on?
You invited him on.
Okay, well, I'll link him and see if he joins and if we can get it working. I know we were having trouble last night. So if
there's some news. There's some news. Ricky Berwick put Joey Janela through a freaking table last night.
Yeah. So I'll see if I can get T-Bob on here. But yeah, you see all 10 of them right here. These are the people that you'll be voting on for the top 10.
Those of you watching right now, you might be asking where Rev is. He is somewhere behind Shani at all times.
I mean, Rev just... Thank you so much. Rev is like a henchman, but you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, no, I just was saying that he's always somewhere in her shadow.
Yes. Yeah, Rev is like a Marty Jannetty, kind of.
He is a butt barnacle. Yeah. Pico coming through with the Patreon. Going to watch tonight on Drunken Peasants private show. Patrons $5 and above. Not only get tonight's top 10 antagonist countdown and voting, you also get next week's Actual Mania.
Yeah, and by the way, something I didn't get to ask you while we were getting ready. Should I open the voting at the end of the show, or should I open it like even right now and we're not going to look at it until the stream is over? I was thinking, like, let's open the voting now, because that will maximize the amount of people that will vote, right?
Yeah, open it now.
If we withhold the voting until the end of the show, we'll get a lot less votes. So I'm just gonna open the voting. The link to the stream for tonight is pinned to the top of our Patreon. You just go to patreon.com/DP. And it's pinned to the top of the page. And if you can't see the links and everything, just become a patron, $5 or more, and you'll be able to see it for when we start the show. But we're gonna cover Chris Chan's latest video that is very strange.
Oh no! And this is post Keffel's video.
I believe it is post Keffel's. I think it was probably the day after.
Okay, yeah.
So I am going to. Where is it? Here it is. All right. I'm going to open up the voting now. So for all of you who are $10 patrons or more, or I'm sorry, $5 patrons or more, you'll be able to get the voting started right now. So I'm going to publish this right now. So the poll is active. You'll be able to find it on our wall, on our Patreon feed. So go there and get your voting in. I'm not even going to look at it until we're ready to close the voting tonight. So get your votes in. No
need. I think that we're going to try and pick and choose our favorites while we watch.
Billy, among the 10 antagonists, which of them would you trust baking cookies for you?
Oh, JF Gary Epi, 100%.
Probably, I will say the French Canadians, they do know food. Montreal is known for its unbelievable food.
Yeah, I trust him in two things. Race realism. No, three things. Race realism, cookies, and if I ever had to disappear a girlfriend.
Yeah, he does. He is a talented man, regardless. Please like the stream. We'll talk a little bit more about the Top 10 Antagonist private show in a few, but please like the stream and please consider supporting the show because not only do you get extra content, but it's the reason why the show exists. So please consider going there and dropping a $5, and you get 2 extra shows a month. If you do higher tiers, you get more stuff. That's all that really needs to be said. All right, let's check out Chris Chan. Where is it? Oh, here it is.
Ryan Chan says he feels like G-Man could cook, but not bake cookies. I bet you G-Man can burn some food.
Greetings, everyone. Jesus Christ Chan Sonichu Prime here once again.
Jesus Christ Chan Sonichu Prime. Jesus Christ Chan.
Prime is important.
Yep.
Again, focused and connected with everything.
So, what has been happening for several years, even before Jesus Christ Chan went to jail, was that people that Jesus Christ Chan admires would eventually block them because Jesus Christ Chan would tweet at these people and then all the trolling would start in the replies, and then that person would be like, I don't want any part of this, and they would just block Jesus Christ Chan. Yeah. And Jesus Christ Chan does not appreciate that at all, especially like because they're Jesus. You know.
Did Keffels block Jesus?
No, I don't believe Keffels has blocked Jesus Christ Chan, Sonichu Prime.
And I will start off with mentioning, of course, the Animate Rally Convention.
What convention?
You look at the change in the way the eyes look after saying that really struck me. Here, watch the change.
Flutter and I, we did attend the Friday, and we were going to attend the Saturday. We were intercepted because, like the Romans back in the days of Jerusalem, false witnesses were born against me, and they were talked about and ratted me out to the organizer of the convention.
Okay, so...
Well, technically, Jesus also impregnated their own mother. It wasn't
Jesus.
Immaculate Conception was Jesus, who was God.
It's not the same thing, but...
Jesus and God are the same thing, isn't it?
Jesus is one of the 3 definable persons that make up God. Jesus is the Son. God the Father is the one that used the Holy Spirit to impregnate the Virgin Mary. Jesus was the product of that, not the Father.
Yeah. So and Christine Weston Shandler is like one of 3 identities as well. She's Sonichu, she's Jesus, she's...
Yeah, so Jesus Christ Chan here is explaining why they were kicked out of that convention, and they're comparing it to when Jesus Christ was reported to the Romans and executed. So that's the equivalency.
About and ratted me out to the organizer of the convention, which that and its entity was quite wrong indeed.
Agreed.
And as you all know,
was she not able to get into the convention then?
No, they were in the maybe this is a different convention. This might have been more recent.
As I have,
I think she's saying that it's very recent. I thought she said she went there with her girlfriend or whatever.
That simplified during the event. I continued to love and kept my calm. I did try to explain, and yet
they made his father's house a convention center. Is that why she got kicked out of her father's house, because her mother was still living there and they're not allowed to be in the same domicile? There's so much going on here. It's so confusing. I wish Christine would come on and clear this up for us.
We're too great in that event organizer, and I feel sorry for that individual and their accomplices that were with them at the time. And despite the efforts of the minority.
Yes, Honest Red, but it wasn't God the Son that impregnated the mother of Jesus Christ. That's the distinction. There was no son. There was no Trinity at that point. That's how the Son was created. That'd be like saying you fucked your own mom because you were born.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
But no, and I'm saying it's ridiculous. But of course, if Honest Red agrees with you, you're more than likely probably wrong.
We did still have
I think
good
Honest Red says I'm right.
I know.
And I was the one where
I'm saying that's a surefire sign that you're wrong.
Sucks.
Just from my experience.
That's the case, Honest Red. Would you please agree with Ben instead?
You will. Outside of all that, all those that dare do and repeat history in the dark ways by following that of the demons and devils.
Christine has this look in her eye like she has seen everything that Jesus has seen. Like she is connected to the eons of forever, and that she is the center of all existence, and she is only re-witnessing the same story that continues to play out because time is a perfect circle. It's a little needle on a record continually spinning until the album gets flipped over again, and we listen all over. You can see it in her eyes. She's lived, man.
I wonder if Jesus Christ Chan did DMT, if they would just be normal after that. It would balance them out.
And even Satan
might
himself.
be something there that settles out the neuroreceptors that might be off their rocker. It's been known to reset some things.
In the temptations of darkness and try to thwart me, they all shall be thwarted shortly enough. It is the divine will, along with that of Russia being a modern day Babylon, to fall as Babylon did, and Vladimir Putin dying by his own sword, and everything coming to fruition. For I have risen before, and I have many times risen in this lifetime as well.
This is coming through on the Patreon.
You all know
Thank
it or
you,
not,
Marissa.
with all the timeline shifts, the cosmic events, and everything. And y'all would actually know the answer had you actually open your minds and meditate and actually connect it.
Yeah, that's another. That was something I noticed a lot during the Keffels interview, was that Chris Chan appeared to go into some sort of meditative state.
Interesting.
Yeah. For some reason, your camera's frozen. Maybe if you turn it off and back
Trumpster Bob came in, so maybe that triggered something.
Probably. Oh, I do see T-Bob there. Hey, T-Bob. T-Bob?
He was muted. He should be good now. There we go.
What's up, T-Bob?
Yeah, I muted myself. I didn't want to interrupt anything.
No problem.
We got you.
No problem.
I do want to correct something, though.
Okay.
You guys need to go back and read 2 Kings. And in that book, especially towards the end, you're going to find out exactly that Jesus is God, not the Son of God. And if he was the Son of God, then we have no reason to have Christianity. You could throw it in the trash and piss on it. And I just want you to be aware of that.
Well,
that Jesus was God, come to walk among us to show you the way. That's why he asked himself, as his son, he's asking the Father in heaven, why thou forsaking me?
Many, right. And many Christians have an understanding of God as three distinct persons, and that's called the Holy Trinity. So there were three separate distinct individuals that they consider as one God, but they're all separate beings.
Yeah, there was a religion, I forgot the name of it. It came along about, I want to say 70, 80 years ago that did try to teach that Jesus was the Son of God. But you will find no mainstream Christianity religion that has ever taught that. I don't even know really how that got started, except for...
Do you believe in the Holy Trinity, Bob?
The Holy Trinity came about because the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all one.
Well, there's a reason why they have three different names. They're three separate persons that combine as one God.
Well, yeah, you could look at it that way.
That's
but
how you're. I went to a religious school, Bob. I had to learn religious stuff, and that's the literal teaching of most Christian religions.
Yeah, I understand,
in the world.
But you got to keep in mind that I helped some of those students make A+ in their school.
Okay. Wait, was that when you were falling from 1,000 feet from a parachute?
Yeah, I could open up a Bible and quote it to you, baby.
Okay.
So Bob and Honest Red agree with me. That's some pretty good company.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Never any nonsense come from either one of them.
No. I thoroughly studied well in my Bible, well enough that
I just pulled it up. The central doctrine concerning the nature of God in most Christian churches, which defines one God existing as three, I don't even know a lot of these words, consubstantial divine person.
Constantinople, man.
Constantinople. It was Istanbul. Was Constantinople. So it's basically co-equal, co-eternal, and consubstantial, which basically they're three distinct persons.
If you look here at the food pyramid they have set up, it says they all are God. They all are the same God.
Right, but they're not the same person. That's where the is not comes from.
Yeah.
They're all God, but they're not all the same. The Son is not the Father, and the Holy Spirit is not the Son or the Father.
No. Okay, watch this. That's where you're wrong. They are God. They're not separate people.
They're all God, but they're separate people.
Separatism comes from the Afghan religion, which dates back to the oldest known written language where religion is actually mentioned even prior to writing, to human writing. God was there at the beginning. And in that Afghan religion, it teaches that there was one main God, and then there was many gods. And then it describes in detail, a lot more than the Bible, the war between what we would consider the angels of God and God, being Satan and of God and his angels. And of course, God and his angels won the war, but there is only one God. The other gods are simply angels of heaven. They were not given a test of faith like we are, which is why we're being placed above the angels in heaven.
Okay. None of that had anything to do with what I was talking about, but that's fine. We'll move on. We're going to watch more Chris Chan here.
I'm going to side with the believer on this one.
Not every one of y'all did. Which is a shame, really.
If you believe in the Holy Trinity, you believe in the separation of the three distinct persons, as this chart shows.
Well, see, if let's what we're really talking about here is incest. If we have that chart, you can put one corner is the father, is the uncle, is the son. Christine might be all three.
Because when I was Jesus Christ back in Jerusalem once upon a time, I connected with the Akashic records as well, way back then. While I continued to simplify what I could with what was right, and yet was chronicled of me in prophecy, and then as such within the Holy Bible. And later on, in the
Is
later
she getting
book.
an intermission? So now, Bob, I don't know if you're very familiar with Christine. Christine has a storied history. She currently is channeling the energy of who she believes she is Jesus Christ. And a lot of people will chalk that up to her being unwell. How do you feel about people who believe they're Jesus Christ? Do you think it's possible, even if not in this case, do you think it's possible that Jesus Christ might be back on earth right now in a body and we haven't found them yet?
No, that's not going to happen. The Bible's clear on his return. It's very decisive. That's what you have here is a lunatic.
Okay.
That's a fair assessment. I think Christine would disagree, but it's definitely a fair assessment. We've brought up people before who have had similar beliefs, and when challenged against each other, the person also believes the other is a lunatic as well. It seems to be a common occurrence.
There is one good way to find out. Go take them out in the center of the ocean and drop them off.
I mean, if you are claiming that you are the Son of God, Jesus Christ, that shouldn't be a problem,
Jesus
right?
Christ Chan Sonichu Prime. Don't dead name them.
Jessica Hawk says, "Who is this old man that isn't Billy?" I'm not an old man, and Trumpster Bob he's just in his mid-50s. We're just handsome young men tonight, Jessica.
My beard. Is that what she's asking?
Probably the beard. Yeah, we got a few beard aficionados in our fan base.
Okay, I guess before we go further, let me introduce myself. I'm Trumpster Bob. I started the flag waves for Trump, and we kicked I'd say about 120 companies and corporations. We put them out of business, ran them out of America, and so a lot of people don't like me, and then a lot of people do. So it doesn't matter to me.
All right,
there you go.
That's a good introduction.
There you go. We currently enjoy Trumpster Bob and his opinion, even if we don't agree with it, which I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying I enjoy Bob.
Oh, I wanted to point one thing out too. I forgot to point out the other day, because I know that sometimes you get new fans and here, and y'all have a big fan base. So I want to apologize ahead of time to any of you gay people that I might offend, because I use the terms fag and queer and cocksucker a lot. And if I use any of those terms and it offends you, I'm not talking about you. I'm usually talking about some communist schmuck or some, socialist Democrat schmuck like Joe Biden or somebody like that.
You know, Bob, in a way, that's actually really progressive of you to note. I feel like you're halfway to a progressive with that statement.
Yeah, well, we could just leave it right there.
That was a trigger warning.
Appreciate the warning, Bob.
Consciousness cinema, but y'all know what I mean. But it still goes in all the connections that all religions are good, except for those that have anything to do with the darkness and Satanism.
I don't know. I think Jesus would live near the freeway if Jesus came back. So I'm a little convinced, I can hear all the traffic outside.
The correct religions are those that are good, like power, and righteous. Between Christianity, Mormons, Judaism, the Zen.
This person went to jail for 2 years because they were suspected of having sex with their mom. But then they were released and the charges were dropped, so it never went to court or anything like that. So who knows what happened?
He looks like his daddy got a hold of him.
Unfortunately, his daddy might have been a little too soft on her, because his daddy allowed her to be a bit of a brat.
His daddy allowed her.
Zodiacal animal.
T-Bob, did you ever have any kids?
That's a her.
I
Well,
mean,
that's not a her. That's a guy.
Well, she decided a few years ago that she is a woman. So
Where do y'all find these people? This is great.
I don't know, Bob. They just show up.
yeah.
And all that. And all gods and goddesses have existed. They all worked under me, as well as Emmanuel, and worked under that which is above us, of which I am directly connected with.
They made that thing that they're wearing while they were in jail. That yellow thing. I guess they used mustard.
That was a jail pendant?
Yeah, they used.
No, really?
They used mustard packets to color it yellow.
That is awesome. No way. That's really a jail pendant.
Yes.
That is brilliant. So they made this pendant prior to going to jail, and when they got locked up, they weren't allowed to bring their necklace in with them. So they made a new one out of mustard packets.
Yeah.
That is disgustingly perfect. I love that.
Alpha and Omega point.
You guys find a donkey, put a horn on a donkey and call it a unicorn and tell him that Jesus likes to have sex with unicorns to see what happens.
Well, I mean, do you think what is the most human thing that Jesus did back in the day? Like, do you think he had a lot of sex? Do you think that just wasn't written in the Bible? He had to have some human indulgences, right? What's one that you think you could safely say was the greatest human indulgence that Jesus Christ partook in?
Drinking wine.
Yeah, that's documented. That's for sure.
It's documented.
Of all existence that exists at the beginning and end of this timeline and all timelines. And this timeline being the one prime timeline of which where all other timelines exist. So, and I
Bob,
am
how do you feel about multiversal universe timelines? You think that there are more than one timeline, or is this the one timeline in all of existence that we currently live in right now?
Well, that is a question that nobody really knows the answer to except for maybe God, but nobody's ever proven that you can go back in time or go forward in time. So I'm not a believer that you can time travel.
Okay.
an avatar of all existence.
Morgan Freeman coming through on the Patreon.
Hell yeah! Yeah, so Bob, we're live on YouTube right now, but in like a half hour or so, we're going to go to our Patreon private show, which is on another platform where we get away with a lot more there, and we're going to rank the top 10 DP antagonists, and you're actually on the list, so people will get to vote for you, maybe.
Okay, well, we'll give it a run.
Yeah.
So definitely be careful what you wish for. Because what you should be wishing for is that which is good. For if you leave your wishes unwarranted, the drama can continue. Even by that which may have come unto unwarranted.
I believe you. Your girlfriend is not a catfish and Trump was not on Epstein Island even though he's on the flight logs.
Wrong.
Was Trump on the flight logs?
No, wait a minute. Let me correct everybody on this.
Okay, cool.
Trump was never on a plane that went to Epstein Island. That's the biggest lie ever told, and nobody here can prove me wrong. Nobody in Congress, nobody in the Senate, nobody has ever found Trump on a plane that went to Epstein Island. What they did find was that Trump went from Florida to New York City on a business meeting that was held on a plane with about 63, 64 people. I forgot the amount of people on the plane. And Epstein was one of those people.
Now, who's this girl here with Donald Trump and Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? That's
Melania.
Is that Melania?
Yeah. That's Melania.
Well, Trump was associated with a lot of business clients, and Epstein knew a lot of those wealthy people, so he hung around those circles.
Trump and Epstein are in court documents together.
Here they are, like hanging out. I think this is at Mar-a-Lago. I think
they definitely had a falling out at some point.
Let me ask everybody this: do you honestly believe that everybody in your high school was good people? Don't you think for 1 minute that there's somebody out there got a picture of you with somebody in your high school, or they can remember you associating with somebody at your high school, maybe going to a party or maybe a football game together or something? And that person ended up being a murderer.
So would you afford the same charitability to the Clintons then too, since the same is true for...
because they found Bill Clinton's paintings on Epstein's island.
I know there's a couple of people from my high school that have pictures with a murderer / a sicko, but I didn't take a lot of photos with people.
Yeah, but does that make them or you the murderer also? Of course not.
Me, yeah. No,
so kind of like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton took a bunch of pictures with Epstein and all that, and he's on the flight logs. So
Bill Clinton is on the flight log to Epstein Island. That's the difference.
But so is Trump.
The difference is we know Bill Clinton is a sex maniac. Donald Trump respectfully paid for all the women he slept with.
And he only and he only just wanted to have sex with his daughter. He didn't actually do it.
I mean, if I had to choose between Chelsea Clinton and Ivanka Trump, is Ivanka the daughter?
Ivanka's the daughter and Ivana's
okay, yeah. If I had to choose between Chelsea Clinton and Ivanka Trump, I'm team Ivanka too.
No one asked you to do that. He didn't have only the choice between Chelsea and his own daughter.
Yeah, he's had a lot of daughters.
Only two that we know of.
Daughters, women that they would date if they weren't related to them. So I don't see how that really constitutes Trump having sex with his daughter.
Yeah, I think in a very creepy, narcissistic way, he's giving her a compliment, saying she is a fine woman, because he looks at women as their purpose is to be desired. Maybe could be an old school creepy way to say his daughter's a fine woman.
All of us, artists, creators, chroniclers, other dimensional and universe and timeline explorers that we have explored and done innately in our writings, in our drawings, in our music, in all our various media. Welcome to our world. And the drama from the midst of
reading.
This is their first time reading, you think?
He's really not a very good reader.
Do you think they're reading? I thought they were channeling their celestial connection to the universe.
No, he's looking at his computer screen reading. Watch his eyes.
Okay.
He's not very good at it either. He's low IQ and probably didn't make very good grades in school.
Yeah, I wonder what the grades were like, because we know that Christine always had autism, right? So that made it hard for him at the time, to do well in school.
Oh, so Jesus is autistic now. Ooh, that's a good one.
Which include the minority that are the worst of the toxic, evilest, darkest sinning individuals. They are going to converge upon you anyway, whether or not I had commented on that, which does not exist in this timeline by Little Pony Generation 5. Make your mark, tell your tale, a new generation movie. There is still time to shelve all that, Hasbro, and get rid of it, because as long as
okay, so they're mad that Hasbro started a new... You're going to love this, T-Bob. They're mad that Hasbro, the toy company, started a new series of My Little Pony cartoon instead of just continuing the older one.
Yeah. That's actually triggers a lot of... Are you familiar with bronies, T-Bob?
I've probably seen the bronies. I'm not familiar with it. And I'm not familiar with the Lego pony stuff either too much.
Yeah. Bronies are like adult, usually male fans of My Little Pony. Christine was a brony And I think she still is considered a brony, even though she's changed her gender. I don't know how that works.
Right. I do think that you can make a hell of a good movie based off of this Christina character, though.
Oh yeah. Who would you get to play her? Jack Black?
I think maybe, and don't take it offense here, but I think Ben would do really, really good. If he could act as a retarded person and doesn't mind being on the screen as a retarded, fat, fake, Christ-fishing guy getting raped in the butt, or that kind of thing. I think you can make an awesome movie because I could see him talking to his father himself in heaven.
Bob, do you think you want to write this script?
I'm not a good actor, so you'll have to find somebody else. Unfortunately,
I've personally thought about writing a musical about Christine Weston Chandler's life, and if I put my hair down, I think I could play a very pretty woman, Bob. And I think I might be able to pull off a musical.
Let's give you a tryout. How about that?
All right, as a woman or as a singer? Like, should I sing a
No, you're the transvestite retard here, and you think you're Jesus.
All right.
You just got raped in your anus by 5 gangsters in San Francisco.
All right.
And you're up there in heaven talking to your father temporarily, and I want to hear you talk to your father about, they don't believe I'm Jesus, Dad. What do I do?
All right. If I have to sing it, I think that the song would start out with Dear God, I'm so off balance. I've been attacked by Romans and gangsters. I lost the butthole challenge. That'd be a good one.
Man, that's hitting it on the spot there. I think we could roll with that.
All right, let's go. Let's ChatGPT, write me a Christine Weston Chandler musical script. I'm auditioning.
But we're gonna have to dress you up in those pretty unicorn rainbow colors and all of that.
We're gonna need the rainbow unicorn.
You're gonna have to have a winged unicorn to ride back up into heaven.
Yes, somebody write this down. Bob, you're gonna get co-writer credits because we're writing this together now. We're taking this to the top.
Oh, let's do it, baby.
Further
and you're not
developments.
God of Jesus. You're the son of Jesus. You're just the retarded version.
Yeah. Will you play God in the musical?
Oh yeah, I could probably pass for God, right? Yeah.
You have a nice beard. I think we could put you on some sort of throne. Maybe we can make a nice throne out of Keystone beer cans. That'd be pretty kick-ass.
Oh yeah, I could be popping me open up a Keystone going, oh God, here comes the retard again.
Are bad for this timeline, Chuck.
Yeah, I typed it into ChatGPT. I did write a 5-act musical based on the life of Chris Chan, and you know what it did?
It said not appropriate.
It said, I'm sorry, but I cannot create content that may exploit or sensationalize real-life individuals, especially if it involves sensitive situations. If you have any other topic or idea for a creative project, feel free to ask.
Continue. Once G4, Friendship is Magic, and Equestria Girls are fully resumed, and Friendship is Magic continues on to the end of its 14th televised animated season, animated as it was before anything having to do with pony life.
Not agreeing with Bob on the stuff he projected onto Ben. But Trap Ben could pass for a Christian actor.
A Christian actor?
Money really corrupted.
Is that like a bad faith actor?
Yes.
This people. It has
Christy Ann actor. I don't know. I could be wrong.
corrupted the arts, and that has been exemplified in the G5 media, which was re-released prematurely, as I have foreknown and foretold. As everyone else have been understood and observation of. Help in making sure that we are good in this timeline, in this our prime universe. As the Dimension Merge does complete and the ultimate miracle manifests so.
Okay.
It is right. It is good. And I'll also note, there is no reason to block me on social media, because even if you do, you're still going to be attacked by those.
Yep. So you're already part of the drama, so you might as well just accept it and not block Jesus.
Don't block Jesus. Yeah.
Behemoth signed
Did
up.
she get blocked by somebody? Did Kevin
all the
block her?
time. All the time. It happens all the time because
I
Because
can see the
somebody in
ultimate
particular.
manifestation taking place with this dude lifting up his skirt.
they'll tweet at someone who's popular, like a voice actor or someone that they admire, and then all the troll comments will start coming in, and they'll just be like, "Oh, I need to block Chris Chan to make this stop," and that's what
Now,
happens.
Bob, you happen to think that Christine is not actually Jesus Christ, but do you believe Christine, after choosing to become a woman, was given a God-given vagina? Have you heard about this? You probably haven't. Christine was given a God-given vagina. There was like a necrotic cyst in her crotch that busted open and gave her a hole. She claims was God-given.
Well, if he went and had the full job done, then what he did was he took what God gave him, which was the man package, and as a man, he could choose to use his booty hole as a vagina. That's up to him. But no, I don't believe when you get a sex change, it changes your sex.
Bob, this wasn't a sex change.
With the Y chromosome.
This wasn't a sex change. There was like a cyst in her crotch region.
Yes.
And it bubbled over and popped and left a hole. Is that not an act of God? Is that not a God-given vagina?
I'd like to know what doctor she went to.
That's a good question too.
That follow you, those that follow me, those that follow and troll all those that are famous and creative. Because they try to discourage us among the minority that exists within. And what we need to do is just let that slide. We need not heed their words. We need not let that affect us deeply.
So that's what this is all about. They don't want to get blocked by people they like on Twitter anymore, and they're like, come on, deal with it.
All of you hereby call and understand.
Yeah.
For we all coexist together in this drama, in this form of hell.
We all
as it were.
coexist. Usually we all coexist in this world, but Christina's beyond this world. She coexists in the drama.
Can you find out if Christina ever actually met Howard Stern?
I don't believe so, no.
Well, he's famous. They say he's paid for more sex changes than anybody.
Oh,
really?
They say that.
Well, if you remember that Kermit Friends show I was on.
Yeah.
Well, what we found out that with Elisa Jordana is really Elisa
Aduru.
What was that name?
Aduru.
Yes.
So you say Elisa Jordana was born a male and Howard Stern paid for her to have a sex change?
Oh, absolutely. She even admitted that I was right.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I missed that part.
Eventually she admitted I was right when she was talking to another, I forgot that girl's name. She had cut her boobs off, but she still had the vagina.
Boobs.
If you finger
Yeah,
my
she does
cyst,
shows where
does it
she's
not
backing
bleed?
up on the giant dildos and stuff and pretending like she's taking
Oh, my God.
She was trying to flip her up because she was real paranoid when she went and visited her when she lived in California. And she got caught because the girl was live streaming. And she told her, well, didn't you hear Trumpster Bob? I mean, I'm just like you, only I had the full package done.
Whoa. So that was, we're talking about Minnie Manson, right?
Yeah, Minnie Manson, that's the one.
Okay. So live on air, Elisa confided in Minnie Manson that you were right?
Correct.
Interesting.
So, Trumpster Bob, tonight we're gonna have the top 10 all-time antagonists, and as you can see, you're on here too. But there's all these other people. What do you think about the other people that you see here?
Oof, I don't know. We're just gonna have to go through them. I mean,
Tommy Sotomayor's on there. I know you know who he is.
well, we know that he has gone to every major city, at least from Colorado to New York City, and paid big money. We're talking upwards around $3,500, so that he could suck the biggest pecker in town.
He paid $3,500 to suck big peckers.
Oh yeah, $1,500 to $3,500 depends on the time.
So he paid to pick a pack of people's peckers?
And he didn't search for any guys with the biggest. He searched for the biggest transvestites with the biggest peckers.
Whoa.
I did a show one time where 3 of them came on my live stream or admitted, and they told their tale on him that he owed them money.
So they did a pay to play without getting paid?
Yeah, exactly. Like he'd give them like 500 or 1,000 up front and say, "I'll catch you when I get to the bank tomorrow, baby." You know, and never pay them.
Wow, he was scamming. He was scamming peckers.
Yeah, he was freeloading.
He's a pecker scammer.
If he's scamming peckers and he gets free loads, he is a freeloader. That's pretty hilarious, actually.
I don't know about old Tommy. I give him a nickname, Tommy Sodomite, and I know people still call him that.
Tommy Sodomizer.
He's been called Tommy Sodomizer too. Yeah.
Well, they say if he can get all the way down on it, he will look the, brown around.
They say that?
Yeah. That's well, Trumpster Bob says he's talked to multiple transvestites on his podcast that concur. They all say he owes them money.
Oh yeah, you can ask your fans out there. A lot of them probably saw it when I had that video. Live stream.
Our fan base, they might have been approached by Tommy Sotomayor. We have a lot of interesting fans in our fan base.
Yeah, you do. That's true. That's what's good about you guys. You guys got a lot of straight people, gay people, transvestites watch your show.
Yeah.
Everybody likes Drunken Peasants at one point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole gaggle. I think we've had a few school shooters that watch. I can't remember exactly.
Bob, give us your opinion about Glanderson Booper.
Glanderson Booper is a hybrid of Glenn Beck and Anderson Cooper.
Glenn Beck's a libertarian.
He's also a Mormon.
Communist. Huh?
Glenn Beck is also a Mormon. What do you think of the Mormons?
Oh God, them people are something else there, boy.
Thank you, Bravo. Yeah. So Glenn Beck is he's a Mormon.
I think the Mormon church is a good place to go to if you're looking for a bride that's about 19 years old. It seems like they're always trying to pawn their daughters off on the guys they think might have a little money. So if you get a little money and you're looking for a perfect, gorgeous knockout that's about 19, 20, whatever, that's a good church to go to. But I don't see how people could follow a religion of a guy who never could understand Christianity and got upset about the very topic y'all were just talking about, being Jesus, the Son of God, as he tried to pronounce it or say that he believed that Jesus was the Son of God and not God. He never could understand that. And that very thing is what coached him to magically in one night write the Mormon Bible, which is crazy. Well, he didn't write it one night. It took a lot of time to write that book.
Most Christian churches that accept the Holy Trinity think that God sent the Holy Spirit to impregnate the Virgin Mary. But in Mormonism, God literally came to earth and had actual sex with the Virgin Mary and impregnated her, just like anyone could get impregnated on earth. And
anyone can get.
God must have had an awfully tiny pecker, because when they lifted that skirt up, she was a virgin.
Yeah, what's up? Mormons think God's got a little
I
slim
actually
picking.
witnessed Tommy
What's up with
Soda's
that?
miser sucking Elisa Ujuru's 12-incher in an alleyway in Atlanta.
Wow. Okay, random guy. Is Tommy Sotomayor from Atlanta?
He's been to, I mean, he's from all over. I remember his criminal record got leaked, and I think that might have been in like Louisiana or something. I can't remember, but he
did different things in 3 different cities, to my recollection.
Yeah. I remember when you were on his show, you and him went back and forth, and you said he would fail the butthole challenge.
Oh, he never could take that. He'll never pass that.
Yeah, for some of us, it's a challenge just to keep everything inside.
Well, if we had reversed it and did a challenge to see who had the biggest butthole, I'm pretty sure he's up at the top of the list.
He's the loose king.
Do you think the poop just falls right out of him?
Oh, it has to. I mean, that's a common known thing. I mean, if guys that get it, I know a guy. I don't want to say his name on your air, but I know a guy who I met online. It turns out that his ex-lover left him because he got addicted to having. Hide your ears if you're timid. He got addicted to having a prolapsed butthole, and he used to sit on huge, mega, big, round objects. Now, guys like that, or guys that are just pretty big back there, are going to accidentally drop out. I mean, you have to wear a man diaper, or you have to shove some kind of plug up there.
Is it like he sat on a bar stool and the bar stool just disappeared?
Yeah, that would be maybe a post. This guy likes hanging out on the coast a lot. He lived in California, lived in Virginia Beach, so I think he liked those posts. That were.
Oh my god. So we've got maybe like 5 more minutes or so, 7 minutes. And then we're going to go do the private show. So everyone should sign up. I have it pinned right there at the top of the chat. $5 gets you a show tonight. It gets you a show a week from today. I do have some actual Mania promos, but I don't know. I was maybe saving them for tomorrow's Saturday show.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you have like a annual deal you can do for your show over there?
We do have an annual Patreon subscription. If you subscribe for a year, you get a cheaper subscription rate. If that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If you're talking about, we gotta get Bob the annual connection.
Yeah. We'll get it all sorted out. I mean, you'll be in the stream with us, so you'll see everything we watch. We're gonna watch a video from each person that's on the screen here. And the people will vote on who they think is the all-time greatest. Now, like some of these people we get along with sometimes, like we get along with you sometimes, but some of them.
If you want to get along with me, that's not a problem. I just know he's a freaky dude.
Yeah.
We used to have G-Man on the show all the time.
Yeah, G-Man. Yep. Yeah, G-Man's
JF Gary Epi was a friend of the show.
Yes, yep, yeah. He kind of flipped it, and then there's some. We had Brett on a few times, but we didn't necessarily get along with him. And then Martelli came on the one time, but that was just to like threaten us because he was like, "I'm in your town," because he did come to our town because we were fighting with him on the internet. He came to our town.
Like Mark came to my house that one time.
Oh yeah, and you and him, you kicked his ass though, right? He's a pussy.
No, he's not a pussy. I just I got the quick shot on him and didn't let up on him. You give that guy half a chance to. He knows his shit.
But I thought you were basically like a Green Beret or a Navy SEAL or something like that.
Well, that guy was trained in karate.
He said he didn't know karate.
Teacher.
He told me he didn't know karate.
He does. And I can tell you, he trained with a guy that I met personally in California when I was going to school in California.
He literally
Hold up,
on
Bob.
the air told me he did no karate, and then we watched the video of his karate place, and it says karate on the side of the building really big.
Yeah, he knows martial arts.
Yeah, I mean, there's different
I thought
types
you
of
said
martial
California
arts.
was full of gay guys, Bob. What were you doing in California?
I'll be right back.
Well, my dad passed away when I was 17, so I moved out there to live with my sister to graduate high school. Me and her didn't get along because she's a communist, and so moved out from her and just lived on my own. Graduated high school.
Okay, early on, and that's where you learned that California was full of gay guys. You had to get out.
Oh, I've known California. Yeah, California. But California's heavily mixed. It's not like you think. You go to LA and there's not everybody there is gay,
Okay.
But I would say if you go to Virginia Beach, the ratio is much higher. You go to Virginia Beach, good luck finding a straight person. I mean, good luck. You might find white people out there, but you're not going to find any straight people.
Because early on, you referred to Ben and I as the gay guys from California. And I thought we weren't from California. We were from Seattle. So I thought you just assumed that we were Californian because we were gay. But, we're not saying that we're gay. You also assumed we were gay.
No, I just threw that in there because West Coast, California, you're gay. Well, it sounded good.
It makes sense. We are West Coast. So it does make sense. Slightly. Ominous Kelp says Virginia Beach does have a lot of gays.
I mean, I know gay people right now in my personal life, and I know some that they know I'm gay, but they never come out with it. And
They say they know you're gay, or they know they're gay.
They know they're gay. I'm not gay. I'm straight. But
okay, yeah, like down low gay, you mean, right? Like someone who hides the fact that they're gay.
Those gay people, I just don't. I don't know what the mistake is there. I think that if you're a Christian and you're straight, a lot of gays think that you think they should be damned to hell or some stupid shit like that don't exist.
Yeah.
And texted all of that is in the Bible. Well, if you ever thought wrong, you're going to hell in the same light. So there's going to be one third. If you actually go back and read the Catholic Old Testament and then the Catholic New Testament, you're going to learn that there's going to be 1/3 of every person who was gay actually go to heaven. So it's not true that gay people are damned to hell. That's not true.
Okay. 1/3 will go into heaven?
Well, see, it comes off of Bell and the Dragon. That's where that comes from. Bell and the Dragon, the original translations, and the translations that they use today in the Catholic Old Testament books. They're the apocryphal, Deuteronomical books. We have Old Testament books that are not in your American Bible, the Bishop's Bible. But if you read the Catholic version, you're going to learn that when it names Bell and the Dragon and it's talking about that it's talking about that 2/3 of the people that are gay will be deceived into following Satan. Because of their transgression, they're more of an easier target for Satan to lure into going to hell, basically, and following him. So that tells you that 1/3 of all gay people will not be fooled, and they will actually go to heaven. To where with the straight people, it's the other way around. Only 1/3 of the people who are not gay will ultimately go to hell, and then the rest go to heaven. And
that's because the straight people aren't giving into their vices. Is that the suggestion?
Correct. Yeah. Somehow your sexual deviancy can lure you into following Satan, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. And a straight person can have sexual deviancy as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's a challenge for everybody. It comes down to this: you're here for a challenge. So who do you choose to follow? That's why you're here.
Yeah.
You're not just here to spread the word, but you're here to urge other people to pay attention to the gates of heaven and don't take your eyes off.
So
now, Bob, can I make you're teaching me Christian Science right now. Can I make a theory based on this Christian Science?
Sure.
My theory is that 1/3 of Christians that are going to go to hell are the ones telling the gay people that they're going to go to hell, and 2/3 of those gay people, unfortunately, are listening to this 1/3 of Christians And that's what sends them to hell, is because they start to believe what this 1/3 of Christianity is telling them. You think that's gay math science?
Yeah, that's very good logic right there. And I believe that because I'm going to tell you guys, man, I don't know a lot of people out there, your fan base, a lot of them do know that I'm very highly attracted to black women. I'm going to marry a woman in Africa who is black. And I am going to eventually, when I'm done with a lot of my legal cases, move to Sierra Leone permanently. But I'll be there and back. It's not like I'm just leaving America for good or anything. Yeah. But I can tell you this. I've had sex with a lot of bisexual black women in particular, and bisexual women in general. And I can tell you that none of them were atheists. They were all very much God-fearing Christian women. We just like to have sex together. And so I don't know how people can really, unless they're just not
thoughts on the Westboro Baptist Church and Fred Phelps?
Yeah, somebody needs to slap the Southern Baptist Church. But but seriously, guys, I mean, think about it. We all get along in here. Why can't we get along in the real world a lot of times? It's kind of crazy.
That's true. I wish everybody could have nice, loving sex with bisexual black women. I think that we could learn a lot if we did that.
Well, bisexual women in general. I mean, you can learn from people like that and have friendship relationships with those kind of people. You're going to talk on these certain topics at least a little bit. And I know some very, very caring and loving women that were bisexual that were very much Christians. And then I met some bisexual women that absolutely hated Christians. So it's give and take there.
Yeah. Yeah. Not everybody is exactly the same. And that's what makes us beautiful, our differences.
Yeah. We all walked a different faith.
Yeah.
Well, we want to order pizza. You're probably going to want anchovies, and Ben might want a hamburger, and me, I like pepperoni.
I like pepperoni. Pepperoni's my main pizza topping.
I've been recently enjoying margarita pizza with basil and tomato and mozzarella.
I wanted to ask Trumpster Bob. So if Trump, for whatever reason, doesn't get the Republican nomination, would you vote for him if he just ran as an independent?
Oh, absolutely. But he is going to get it. He's already in the 90% range.
But I'm saying, what if someone pulls some shit against him and they find a way? Because there are Republicans that don't want him to be the nominee. There's like 8 to 10 Republicans we need to get rid of. There's more Republicans that just aren't saying it that don't want him around, though.
Yeah, but there are Democrats that are starting to vote more and more his way.
I don't think I think they just want him out, but they probably won't be able to keep him out, but they might be able to. They might find some kind of weird. I mean, they're already.
He's exposed the world mafia, and he's exposed the corruption in Washington. And that's why they want him out. They're so used to having it their way. You had so many corrupt presidents. You had Jimmy Carter, you had Obama and Clinton before him. And the Bushes, I mean, these people the Bushes were Russian oligarchies, in case y'all didn't know that. Bush Sr.'s his father was a Russian oligarchy. And they moved to New Jersey originally, I believe, to America and then to Texas. And then he ran for president. And then his son ran for president. These people were not good people. They were not Republicans. These are all mafia people that belong to the world mafia. If you look at Zelensky, however you say that stupid name, over there in Ukraine, the president of Ukraine should be in prison right now for committing fraud against Ukraine for hundreds of millions of dollars. And y'all can look that up. Just punch in his name and fraud and read all about it.
Read all about it.
Yeah, I got a video still up on that one, and a couple of them actually. But Joe Biden helped start the war by creating sanctions on Russia that were unnecessary, and he pissed off Putin, and Putin went and invaded Ukraine. That was done so they could keep Zelensky into office. See, because the president, they can't remove him according to the way their laws are over there. He's like the supreme being over there for now. But when the war stops, he could be arrested for his fraud and be thrown in prison where he belongs.
We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, hopefully it does. It's I'm glad the Republicans caught on to that and caught on to this money laundering with the nonprofits, and now they're going after Biden with it. I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing to impeach him over.
So if they find a way to keep Trump off all the ballots in all these states, and he can't win the primaries because he's not on the ballot, he'll probably run independent, right? If that happens, hypothetically.
Well, hypothetically, they could do a write-in, whether he's on the ballot or not. That's the constitutional right.
But he could just run. He could run and get on the ballots even if he's not the Republican candidate, just based on the amount of support he gets. So
absolutely, I think. Yeah, but the reality is he is going to run as a Republican. They're not going to be able to keep him off the ballots. The Supreme Court's going to rule against him because they have no constitutional basis to keep him off of the ballot. That's the problem that they're going to run into.
He might lose to Nikki Haley in New Hampshire.
It's a possibility, but doubtful. I mean, she's got about as much support as the governor of Florida.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
I like a lot of her stuff. I don't know, really, to be honest, why people don't like her, but she's one of those people that I don't pay a lot of attention to too much. So I don't know what it is, what the things are that they don't like about her. Maybe some of your fans could educate me in that direction.
I guess she's the alternative to Trump. So a lot of people like her, and then people don't like her because she's not Trump. I think it almost basically boils down to that.
Who's going to be his running mate? That's the question.
He's been teaming up with Vivek Ramaswamy right now.
Yeah,
they've been
guy too.
They've been
Ramaswamy's not a Christian though. So would you want a non-Christian vice president who could possibly be president? Because Trump's pretty old. Trump could die in office and make whoever the vice president is president. It could happen.
No, he's Hindu.
Yeah, I said he's not a Christian. Yeah, he's Hindu. Yeah,
right. But what you don't understand about Hindus is that Hindus and Christians get along very good.
They get along, but I mean, Hindus have like multiple gods. Hindus have they're polytheistic. They have multiple gods.
I know, yeah, but again, that goes back to the Afghan religion. They referred to angels as gods. There was no word for angel once upon a time.
Well, these aren't angels. These are they're not Afghans. They're Hindus, so they have a different religion. And
one of the sons of Noah is documented as going and venturing out through Asia, and he spread the word of God throughout those people in those lands. So if he did so, and if there were other people that survived in the Great Flood, whatnot, which I believe is true, I believe the Bible is misquoted here and mistranslated in that direction. I think it's silly to believe that Hindu actually has a person of his name, of his exact
Hinduism
name.
is very different from Christianity. They're very different religions.
That came through there and helped form their religion. Hindu's not that big.
Hinduism is one of the oldest religions in the world. It's been around a very long time. We're gonna go live now. We're gonna switch here and go live on our Patreon. So Bob, there's gonna be some music playing for maybe 5 minutes. So if you need to get up and go to the bathroom and whatever, and then we'll be all right. We'll see you guys over on the private show. Sign up now, patreon.com/DP. $5 gets you in. And then
let's go.
Jared looks like Mr. Clean or a human Shrek. Yes, he does. All right. We'll see you all there.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.